Welcome back to Midday with the Raj, 103.5 WCCH, broadcasting live from Holyoke Community College. A little bit overcast today, but, I feel like it's a little more drowsy day. But part 5 of Midday with the Raj with Al Rogers and Patrick LaBelle.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, my guest had to cancel on me. Amanda, her name is Amanda, but she is going to be coming on next week. So she had a mandatory meeting, but that's okay.
Nope, we'll never forgive you, Amanda. You're dead to us.
You'll get my forgiveness, though.
Okay, JK.
But, so we're going to get started with a little bit of MLB. Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees. I just have a few injury reports, nothing really major. I thought I would get this one first done because there's not really much to talk about other than opening days like 3 weeks away. Other than that, there's not really that much to speak of. Giancarlo Stanton out to start the year with the Yankees. For us Yankee fans out there, I'm not really shocked, surprised. Giancarlo Stanton gets hurt every single year. I guess I don't think there's been an entire single year ever since we got him back in 2018 where he stayed healthy. So I'm at this point I'm kind of used to it. So but what are you gonna do? This guy's made out of glass. The Yankees, Luis Gil, starting pitcher, will be out 4 to 6 weeks. So he's out to start the year. It's like these guys are dropping like flies, and the season hasn't even started yet. DJ LeMahieu, he's been hurt the last 2-3 years. He's out to start the year too. I mean, not really a pleasant start for the Yanks when it comes to injuries. I mean, already three guys down already. I mean,
they got to wrap him in bubble wrap, Al.
At this rate, dude. I mean, can we go a season without multiple people injured? Like, please. Jeez. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton gets hurt every single year, like I just said. So ever since we got him, Pat, I'm pretty sure back in 2018, he's been hurt every year. So,
do you know how does that work, Al, in terms of the contract with his huge contract? Is that all guaranteed in the MLB? Do you know?
Not that I can think of, but he's with us for the next 4 or 5 years. So God. And I'm just watch the next 4 or 5 years we have him too. He'll be down and out again to start the season. The season hasn't even started yet, Pat, bro. He's already out to start the season. The season hasn't even started yet. We were spring training, bro.
What happened? What did he slip on a wet floor? What happened?
I don't know, bro. He's a DH. He doesn't even play the field anymore, bro. What's apparently he was battling it in the postseason too. That doesn't decide the fact that you just get hurt every single year. I mean,
the injuries are tough.
I can complain about it all I want, but postseason, postseason Stanton's different. But can you go a season without in the regular season at least to not get hurt? It's been 7 years you're on my team. You've been hurt all 7 years, I believe. But no, I thought I would just get a little bit of MLB injuries just more like Yankee talk injuries out of the way, because there's just a little bit of small things I could mention to start the show. Because there's not really that much to mention, so that's why I thought I'd bring that stuff up first before I just move on to everything else.
Yeah, might as well.
And, I mean, what do you think, Pat? You just, like I just said about Stanton,
It's tough, man, because, I hear what you're saying. It's super frustrating as a fan, especially when your team puts all that money into a guy. But, there's a part of me, too. I'm being a little bit of a jerk, too, with the bubble wrap comment. But, what can you do?
I know what you're
it's
saying.
Tongue-in-cheek,
I know what you mean.
But, yeah, it's tough, with the injuries, because what can you do? Some guys do just seem to get that bug attached to them. It's tough.
Some guys more than others, but clearly he's one of them.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? No, I thought I would just, bring that up a little bit, just to know that, we got a few injury reports out of the way.
So who will take his place, Big Al?
Designated hitter-wise, it was going to be DJ if he didn't get hurt, but, no, that wouldn't, because he was competing for third base, but honestly, Pat, that's a good question. Who would take over as the designated?
Because maybe that could be the one bright side of the whole thing. Maybe you give a young guy a shot or something.
That's what I was going to say. And someone was like, oh, why don't you bring up Spencer Jones? You meant a guy that strikes out every other at-bat and a guy that batted 230 in AA or AAA. I don't want that guy on my team.
Yeah, how about now?
No, I don't want him starting so he can strike out every other at bat. Like, what's? But I don't know. I just feel like the Yankees are already a mess, and the season hasn't even started yet. And for crying out loud, Jason Dominguez, bro, him and Anthony Volpe, and I'm not giving up on the guys. This is spring training.
True. You got to keep that in mind.
It's just spring training. It's not that I'm giving up on the guys, but they're making errors left and right too. Like, there's balls that Dominguez should have caught that he's lost, like in the outfield. He's lost in left field. Like, Volpe boots balls and stuff. Like, but both of them are batting like under 100 too in spring training. So like, I don't know. But like, I told my friends this too that are Red Sox fans. If they pull this in the regular season, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, because you know what, Big Al, it's one thing to say it's spring training, but you know what? The season's right around the corner. It's called training for a reason, folks.
Not like an actual problem, but like there's, you know what I mean. It's not. We can't just throw somebody out there that's gonna A, not hit, and B, not field your position. It's like, that's the two main parts of the game right there.
Yeah, wake up. Come on, people.
But no, it's just frustrating to see. Clean up the simple mistakes is what I'm just trying to say. But
yeah, I hear you.
Other than that, MLB starts 3 weeks away. March 27th is opening day. Red Sox will be in Texas and at the Rangers. The Yankees will be playing their first 3 home games against the Milwaukee Brewers, and maybe against our former pitcher, Nestor Cortez. So we'll just have to wait and see. And Devin Williams, former Brewers closer, be facing his own team if he gets a shot in the 9th inning.
All right.
Probably. So, a few little old members on different teams now.
Can we get some hot takes, Al? What's your bold prediction for the season?
Just for the Yanks in general, or just the MLB?
How about both?
If I had to give a hot take, I think the Yankees, they're going to be good. They're going to be okay. Okay. If I had to get it in a more shorter way, they're going to be okay if they stay healthy. That's one thing I'll mention. Health's already a problem already, and we haven't even started the season. So, like, I'm just like, thank God Cole or Fried or any of those guys haven't went down yet. I mean, at this rate, I'm scared if Judge goes down, bro. Freaking just like 2 years ago when he ran into the wall in LA.
Yeah. Oh, that's the last thing you need.
Like, just... But other than that, if they stay healthy, they'll be okay. They'll be fine. But MLB-wise, it's 162 games, so your team could start off like, there was one year I think the Yankees started off like 5-15 or something like that, and I was panicking already in April.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, they're done for. April? Nope, done. Bye. No, they're out of here. Oh, freaking! I was panicking. A week later, they win 6 of their last, 7 games, and I'm like, oh, I'll shut up now. So,
Fair.
But, you can't just judge a team when the season just starts. That's not how it works. So, and with the Yankees, and that's just not just with the Yankees. That's with any of the 32, however teams are in the MLB. So, you can't judge a book by its cover when the season just gets started, and you're just like, oh, yeah, we're 5-15. No, let's throw in the towel already. Winning streaks are a thing. So, I mean, it's not just because your team starts off pretty horribly doesn't mean you can't win 7 of your last 8 games and start going nuts and picking up the pace. Just like with any other sport. It could be the NBA, it could be the NFL. Start off the year 0-2 in the NFL. Win your next 3 or 4 games. Look where you're at now. Go to the NBA. Start off the season a little short. Go and win 6 out of your last 7 games. There you are again. It could be crying out loud in soccer, or you could start off. It's with any sport, and this goes for any sport that I'm talking about. And especially with the MLB, Pat. When you ask the question, "What's your perspective on the MLB?" You can't. It's like me a few years ago when I said about the Yankees. You can't just be like, "Oh yeah, start 5-15, give up on your team already." Unless your team continuously loses consistently, and you're 5-30, and you're like, "Oh, how do I win 35 straight games or something like that?"
Yeah, then you're done for.
Then you're done for. But that's a little bit of a stretch. So
yeah.
But I did give you my Yankee take. I want to hear a little Sox take from you.
Sox take.
Sox take and MLB take in season.
All right, Sox take. I'm saying the Sox take the division. I'll say it. Big bounce back year for the Sox.
That's a hot take coming from you.
I'm gonna say they take the division. I think they bounce back.
They're a runner up for it. They got they got better. They got very much better. And I think Pat adding Alex Bregman is a huge addition for the Red Sox.
Yeah,
like,
that's huge.
And his stats hitting at Fenway Park are absurd too, by the way. So you're gonna love when he hits at home, but just hits in general, he's gonna be a menace.
Yeah, that'll be a nice one. I don't think they take the series. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't see them going all the way, but I'll see them taking the division.
I can tell you this: they'll be back they'll win the playoffs.
I can see that.
They'll be a playoff team.
They got something to prove.
They definitely will be.
They got something to prove. I always like a team that's got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
And adding Garrett Crochet too, big starting factor for them if he stays healthy. Adding him on the rotation too is big for the Red Sox too. So they picked up a few good acquisitions. So I think this year they're going to be a team to reckon with.
Yeah.
But no, I think John Henry cooked this year in the offseason for and Breslin and Brett, what's his name? Your guys' GM?
I'm blanking on it too. No clue.
Wait.
Oh, we're doing research. We're going to the board. By the way, folks, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Midday with the Raj here with Big Al and Professor Pat here on 103.5 WCCH, Holyoke, Massachusetts. Right now, Al's giving us the rundown, kind of going over some injuries going on in the league, Yankees specifically, and doing a little research now on the Red Sox front office, looking for the GM. Hey, if you know who the Red Sox GM, why don't you give us a call? 413-552-2103. And then we'll answer it, maybe, if we like you. Maybe.
Dude, come on.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to circle back on this one, Al.
No. I'm getting this.
Okay.
I'm definitely getting this. Come on.
In other news, I guess I'll hop in here. Been going down to the rec center over at the Bartley here on the campus of Holyoke Community College. Want to give a shout out to the baseball team. See them working hard down there, doing their practices. I always think it's kind of hard being a spring sport, especially one that you got to be outside for. Like there's no turf or anything. So I saw them practicing in the parking lots. That's real dedication. Shout out Cougars baseball, baby. Number one.
Forget that later. Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf. Just jump for a second, then I'm going back to MLB. Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf has requested a trade per source. The request came today after a series of conversations over the past 2 weeks. Metcalf prefers a contender.
Can't say I blame him. Jeez.
I just feel like a lot of people are just getting released today.
Today's the day of reckoning.
Everybody's just getting released left and right. And I'm just like, I mean, hey, I guess that's just what's happening.
Judgment Day.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just like, two-time Pro Bowl wide receiver DK Metcalf requests straight from Seahawks. Yep. I don't know, Pat. I just feel like everybody's jumping left and right. We're just gonna have to wait and find out what's next, right? I mean,
the times are changing.
Times are changing, brother. Times are definitely changing. But no, to get back on your point, with the Sox, I agree with you. I think 100%. They had John Henry went out at a great offseason. Picking up acquisitions, getting some pitchers. Moving around. But I think the Sox will be back in the postseason for sure. So your take on the season, you did give me a take on the Sox. What's your take on the season in general?
Oh, this is a tough one.
Because you asked me this. I gave you my answer.
I say the Dodgers go to the World Series again.
That's kind of a no-brainer. I think it'd be sad if they didn't, best roster in baseball. So,
yeah.
I mean, if they don't.
That one's a little less spicy.
But just because you have the best team doesn't mean the best team always wins.
No. We talked about it last week. You get hot.
But they did last year. But just saying, you never know. You never know what can happen, especially in that type of length of a season. You can't predict anything beforehand because, you could, but doesn't mean your opinion or just take is going to be 100% right.
I'm going to have to pull out the magic 8-ball next week. Third eye.
But, no, I think that this season is going to be, like I've said in the past weeks, roller coaster ride, going to be a long year. MLB's 162 games starting March 27th. Actually, keynote before I move on a little bit to Bruins update, because I think we covered pretty much a lot with the MLB. You know,
season's got to start, Al.
I know.
What else can we talk
can
about?
I snap my fingers and go to March 27th already? But anyways,
I hear you.
Back to what I was saying. When it comes to, you just threw me off when you mentioned that.
Sorry.
No, you're no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. When it comes to, you know, that long of a stretch too, you look at it and you're just like, you can't predict. Well, you can, but like I said, it's gonna be difficult. You know, I mean, and teams have their stretches where, like I said, the Yankees a few years ago, 5-15. Start off. I don't know if that was the exact record, but it was something around that line. But
start cold, finish hot.
There's an old saying, it's not how you start, it's how you
finish. Let's go. Let's go.
I was waiting for you to say that. I knew you had that in you.
Yeah, don't mind me, folks.
That's a very old saying.
They don't call me Professor Pat for nothing, folks.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So you can judge a book by its cover, but you can't judge the season when it hasn't even started yet. Now, did I wish the Yankees have 2 or 3 guys already starting on the IL? No, obviously not. But it is what it is. But anyways, before I jump to the NHL, I believe today we had a great radio meeting at HCC.
Oh my gosh, yeah, things are cooking around the station. Very good times around here.
And I thought I would mention that because I don't usually mention that stuff. That's more of your stuff.
True.
But I thought I would just say that we had a packed house. It was, 35 people?
Yeah, you know what, Al, this is a good one to talk about here. Today was a super great day around the station. We had our club meeting. And also, yeah, if you're listening, you're around campus, you want to be a part of the station, you want your own show, you can come on down anytime. But anyways, back to the meeting today. We actually had some special guests on that I want to give a shout out to.
And new people, too.
And a bunch of new people. But I want to give a quick shout out to George Counter and Joe Counter for coming down. They dropped off a ton of old school physical media for us, some records, some CDs. And yeah, we do a lot of digital around here nowadays just because it's nice and simple, easier for training. But it's actually perfect timing because coming up in April, we're going to be doing Vinyl-thon, which is 24 hours of vinyl. So huge shout out to them for coming down. And George is actually the former superintendent of Holyoke Public Schools. So
wow.
Literally getting a couple living legends here at the station. It was really cool. We had a great turnout, and it was nice to see a lot of the club members being able to interact with them a little bit. And
also, yeah,
it was cool.
Continue on to what you're saying. Yeah,
sure.
100%. But also, shout out one of our DJs, Michaela, for making those T-shirts. I did actually see on the computer. That was very, very cool. I know that they're not done yet, but they're
this is breaking news, Al. We got to keep a little confidentiality.
I don't want to break the whole thing. I know you're listening, Michaela. I don't want to break it out to the entire world, but I just want to say, very, very well done is what I see.
No,
I won't break the entire thing, but all you need to know is that she made some T-shirts for us, I'm pretty sure, for the radio station.
Yeah, you know what, Al? Let's just keep the good vibes going. Let's shout out Michaela, one of our student managers here. Let's shout out Damon T., one of our student managers here.
Damon, I know if you're listening, I want to do a podcast with you and Eric, DJ Gingy, should I say?
Yeah.
On WWE about John Cena's heel turn too.
And that is going to be a good one. I can already tell.
We talked about that earlier. So.
Yeah, Damon coming in clutch, bringing in the record player today. Also,
that was awesome.
Special shout out to our advisor, Joe Sapphire, doing a ton of stuff behind the scenes to help the station be the best it can be.
Mm-hmm.
And keep an eye out, folks, because the WCCH Tiny Desk is coming at you soon enough.
Tiny Desk?
TBD.
Is that a new one?
Day TBD.
I think I already ever heard of that.
Yeah, it's in the works right now. We're I don't want to say copying it, but we're using a lot of inspiration from NPR and their fantastic series, The Tiny Desk Concert.
Cool.
So you know what? We're making things happen around here.
But yeah, I just thought.
Hi haters, give them a wave.
Yeah, just to name a few. Things before I went back to the sports topic, but.
Yeah, thank you for that.
No, absolutely. Because, dude, we also had like 35 people that came into that. I came in a little late because I was finishing up downstairs, and then I come upstairs to the radio station, and I just noticed an army of people. Like
it really was surreal. There's a lot of people.
There's 2 people sitting on a couch, 2 people sitting on the other couch, and then the entire couch is down there, and the chairs were just taken. So I was like, I'm going to have to stand for this because there's no way I could get a seat.
Super
But
exciting, yeah.
it was exciting though. It was a nice turnout. You tell the people when the next radio club meeting is.
Oh, that's a good segue there, actually. So, for those who don't know, we meet every other week here at the station. We're in Dawn 103.
But we also have another one too that I saw today.
Oh yes, and we also have our podcast room across the hall, which I'm forgetting the room number. Terrible,
yeah,
but
it's all right.
but if you come to the meeting,
at least people know that it's here. So.
Exactly. Meeting every other Wednesday. We met today, so we won't meet next week, but the week after that. Wish I had my calendar on me.
I believe that would be
2 weeks
the
from
week of what? Not the 11th through the 17th. No, it wouldn't be because we'd be on break.
Oh, I lied. All
Yeah.
right. Well, hey, in the meantime, I'm usually here 10 to 2. Leave the door open. So come on in. We'll set something up. The motto of the month is let's make it happen.
That's a good way to look at things. Let's make it happen. Let's cook something up.
Start where you are. Do what you can.
Facts. So yes, I thought I would just mention a few of those things before we go back to the script. We covered a lot on MLB. I'm glad that we started off with that. Like I said, when I was doing the script yesterday at home, it's actually right when I got home too yesterday. I was like, I gotta do this. I want to do it now. And I was like, let's just talk a little MLB before we move on to the sports that are going on every single day, which would be. We'll start off a little bit with not start off. We'll move on to the NHL now. I know I usually only do like a Bruins update because I don't really like pay attention like I told you.
No, me neither.
You were just talking about them last week. You were mentioning that you're like, oh, I have maybe a feeling, but then the other fact, I don't know if they're going to make it. You were talking about that last week with me. I don't know, it looks like you pay attention a little bit.
Oh, dang. Caught me red-handed.
I mean, you were. I could go back and pull up the show if I wanted to. I remember you were talking about it.
We're going to have to go to the tape.
Well, we have tape, but I won't go to it right now. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, it's a cold world out there, folks. Bundle up.
So I got oh, actually, that was last night with the Bruins. So I want to check the score of that last night. Let's do it. If you're listening to 103.5 WCCH. I'm gonna check out a little bit of the Bruins score last night. I just gotta go to the scores. Last night, the Bruins lost 6-3 to the Predators last night.
Dang. Oh, well, I do remember now. I was like, oh, the Bruins can either really man up here and turn the season around, or they can just fade away. Well, it looks like they're fading into the oblivion. Wake up, Bruins. That's my take.
Wake up. Well, you gotta wake up, right? You can't not.
I mean it ain't the first week of the season anymore for hockey. Come on, let's go. Chop, chop.
But no.
Giddy up, pork chop.
Like we talked last week, do you have any take on, I know that we still have a few months left. Any take if the Bruins are going to, make it? Or do you think that...
I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling a lot less hopeful than I was. Especially that loss against the Leafs. You kidding me? How do you blow a 3-0 lead? Give me a break.
Yeah, that was tough.
I mean, just a lack of mental toughness there. Not okay. Boo.
So you
okay,
think
that was a little harsh.
No, you're okay. Do you think that if they don't start picking it up, it might not finish off well for them, or do you think that if they keep pushing through and start winning some games, maybe they turn it around?
Nah, you're right. If they might have a chance to turn things around. They got to start protecting the puck a little more though. Too many costly turnovers, especially in the defensive end.
But no, I'm glad that we still got a few months to go. But Pat, you got to keep grinding, but you got to start winning some games too. Like I said, you got to start off the second half right. Clearly, they've had a few bumps in the road to start off the second half, but they got to keep plugging away. And I think that, their situation's a little tough over there. Injuries and stuff too. Like you said, what you told me the other day about not the other day, last week, about Pasternak, Marchand, those guys, maybe one of them getting traded, is what I'm hearing, or no?
Oh, maybe I was saying that they have no excuse because those guys are still there.
That's what you were saying. They had nothing to do with trades, so forget that.
Oh yeah, because the Bruins, they're not totally an untalented team. It's just not really coming together right now.
Well, I mean, it's always time to turn it around.
There's hope, and you know what? Hey, they're not like totally in last place.
They're not totally.
It's just mediocrity.
They're also not.
Mediocrity.
Yeah, they're also not.
Ooh.
They're not out of it. They're just a 500 ball club.
Yeah, strive for greatness.
But they can turn it around. Just got to win a few games. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So there's still hope.
All right. Well, you got anything else before I go to my first break?
Nah, what do we got coming up, Al?
I'm going with a few Rocky songs today.
Oh, you know I like that.
Although I think you were a little tight when I said something about taking your theme.
Off the record, maybe.
You were like
biting my flow a little bit. Hate to say it.
At first, that was Eric that said that because Eric said Pat uses that all the time.
Yeah.
So
hey, we keep it real here on 103.5 WCCH.
But I was like, well, just because he uses it doesn't mean I can either.
No, it's called paying homage. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with "Gonna Fly Now" as theme. I believe it's "Going the Distance," "No Easy Way Out," and "Hearts on Fire."
That's hype.
So we will take our first break and be right back with Midday with the Raj with Al and Pat. Take 5. Welcome back to Midday with the Raj, Part 5 with Al and Pat. You just heard "Gonna Fly Now" and "Going the Distance." The last 2 songs will be "No Easy Way Out" by Robert Tepper and "Hearts on Fire" by John Caffery. So
loving the theme.
All Rocky say, I had to pick it out for my boy Pat that has been helping me out and been doing a great job. So shout out Pat.
Hey, shout out me, folks.
All right, back to business. Coming to HCC's Jazz Night, live music performances, little PSA. I know I'm
yes.
to that.
Listen
My HCC students, Thursday, March 13th, 6 to 10 at Theodore's Barbecue at Springfield, Mass. Free entry, no money. Wow. So that will be quite a bit for people to pop out if they don't have to spend anything. So if you're not doing anything Thursday, March 13th, pop out to Theodore's Barbecue, Springfield, Massachusetts, and Thursday, March 13th from 6 to 10 p.m. That is Thursday, March 16th, 6 to 10 p.m. at Theodore's Barbecue in Springfield, Mass. Free entry, folks. Come and pop out if you want to see a jazz night, which actually would be pretty cool because jazz is not bad, especially if you want to be a little soothed and relaxed.
Yeah, can I add something to that, Al, too?
Go for it.
Yeah, I actually went to the HCC Jazz Night in the fall. They do it in the fall semester, too. Had an absolutely amazing time. There's so much talent here at HCC. Not even being a kiss-up, I swear. There's a lot of real talent down there. And I like what they do, too. I don't know if I'm really supposed to be saying this, but it's a loose term with jazz. So, there's some pop hits in there, too. Guy like me, I like the pop hits. So, shout out to HCC Music Department. And I hope I don't mispronounce your name, Ellen Kogan, putting that together. Woo! I'll be there. And Theodore's no free ads, but Theodore's got some great barbecue, so I'm going to be eating good, too. There we go.
Thinking another word, eating good in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Woo.
Isn't that like an Applebee's?
Okay, yeah, now we're doing too much.
Now we're doing a little too much.
Back to the sports.
Back to the scripts. So, I thought we would go to the NFL and save NBA for last because even though I should have swapped this a little bit. But
oh, good.
Saquon Barkley's extension with the Eagles, 2 years, $41.4 million. Pat, give a take on that.
Ooh, 2 years, 40 for Saquon? That's a tough one, Big Al, because here's what I'm going to say. Saquon clearly almost had like MVP quality season this year.
You think?
But that being said, you got to be careful with the running backs just because they have such a short shelf life in the NFL. Listen, I'm not preying on his downfall by any means, but the running backs, sometimes it's like they got 4 or 5 good years, and then you see like a pretty drastic fall off. Not to be like Colin Cowherd, Tom Brady, the cliff, but I don't know. I guess 2 years is probably fair, though. I think 2 years is a fair deal.
I think he deserves it after
fair
the
for
year.
both sides.
After the year, he just had to. But not only that, I think that he definitely deserves it because and also the most important part, he just won a Super Bowl in his first year. So, I mean, you knew that was coming eventually.
Can't do much better than that.
So he deserved the check, definitely. So, but no, I thought I would mention that. Get that first off going. I know we had some small releases today. Christian Kirk got released from the Jaguars. DK Metcalf requesting a trade from the Seahawks. Kirk's contract 4 years, 72 when he signed with the Jaguars. When that happened, so I was like, dude, that's crazy money. And then they release him. That contract's insane, man. When he had it, 4 years, 72. Like,
yeah, that's wild.
That's absurd. And then, DK Metcalf wanted to request a trade. We also got Deebo Samuel getting traded to the Commanders for a 5th-round pick. Deebo Samuel, I don't really think's the same guy that he used to be, though.
Nah, he's fallen off a little bit. What do you think about the whole concept of requesting a trade, Al?
Honestly,
Because if
I
you're
think
working
when
at
you
Dunkin',
request,
you can't request a trade.
no, you can't.
know?
You either get a new job or you got to stick with what you got or you quit.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the actual point. When you request a trade, there's a few reasons why that happens. A, you don't like what's going on there. You don't like the environment around you. B, maybe you're just not having a successful season, or just things aren't just going well in general. So, I mean, there's always a reason for things. But when it comes to requesting trades, those are usually what comes down in those situations. When it comes to that stuff, those are usually what comes in those circumstances. You know, you're not liking where you're around. You're not liking your environment. You're not liking your coaching staff, your players, the front office, just in general, just not liking the atmosphere at all. But, you know, when it comes to that, players want to do what they want to do, and requesting trade is, they do it when stuff isn't so hot either, or they're just not getting the money they want to.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
I guess at the end of the day, it's a request.
But at the end of the day, it's a request. So when it comes to that concept, if they don't get what they want, and usually majority, they all want money. So.
Yep.
But no, when it comes to that concept, when it comes to the standards that stuff isn't going well and you're not liking where you're at, or you're just not enjoying the people that are around you and your teammates, your coaching staff, and your front office too. That's probably has a big reason for, requesting trades. What else do we got? They restricted contract of a reconstructed contract of wide receiver CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, okay.
We also got Jets release Devontae Adams.
Wow. Dang.
So.
Wow, that's a pretty big one. That's a little shocking, I feel like.
Actually, I don't know, though.
But does that coincide with Rodgers? Did he retire?
He's, there are, a few teams that, I'm surprised that he hasn't yet, but
or did he quit?
No. Oh. There's a few teams that have I don't know. I feel like he isn't retired yet. No, but I feel like he should. He's old now. He's not the same guy. But I feel like some teams have been talking to him and stuff, but including the Giants. But I don't want him anywhere near that, unless if he's. I just don't want him anywhere near that. I don't just.
No. But, Last thing you need.
Yeah,
My God.
No, thanks.
But be a lot of late nights staring at the ceiling, Al.
No, please. Giants already a mess anyways.
Yep.
And I don't even know what's going to happen at number 3 either. So, but we need a quarterback desperately too. So, but anyways, what else do we got with the NFL? We mentioned Christian Kirk and we mentioned DK Metcalf too. Sam Hubbard retires from the Bengals. D tackle.
Oh, wow.
He was only 29 too. So just announced his retirement today.
Really?
So,
yep.
Wow. But no. Free agency going to be starting soon too for the NFL. If not, I think Sam. But there's a lot going on. I trades crazy, releases been crazy. So I thought I would mention a few things, especially when it comes to that. So now that we're off the whole NFL topic, we're going to a little NBA. Kyrie Irving out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL.
Oh, brutal.
This happened the other day.
You hate to see that, literally.
So, he was going up for a layup, and then he went the wrong way. He went close to near where the crowd was, and just you could feel that something didn't feel right. You can always feel, Pat, and this is just normal, when you hear a pop or something like that, you can always feel when something's not right.
Yeah, you never want to see that.
Something's out of place. So, but it's tough to see someone go down like that. It's horrible. But
no, yeah, you never root an injury on a guy.
No,
have some class.
But if you do, there's a problem.
For real. We don't have none of that on Midday with the Raj here on 103.5 WCCH.
No, sir. But no, I thought I would mention that. We got Eastern Conference standings. Cleveland at 50-10, Boston 43-18. They got the Portland Trailblazers tonight at 7 at the Garden. We're gonna Golden State. Before I get to Golden State beating the Knicks last night, I'll get to that in a minute. Knicks are now 40-21. Milwaukee 39-25. Pacers 39-25. Detroit 34-27. I got like that at Western Conference. We got OKC at 50-11. The Lakers jumping up to the 2 spot at 38-21. We got Denver at 39-22. We got Memphis at 38-23. We got Houston at 37-29, and Golden State jumping up to the 6th spot at 35-28, I believe now.
Wow, oh my God, Cleveland at 50-10. What a year! I didn't realize it was that great.
Yeah,
my gosh,
they beat Boston the other day in the at the Garden, TD.
Rigged.
Yeah, I was hearing the referees were not really pleasing in that game when it came to Boston too.
Yeah.
So before I get to the it's probably the biggest news before I get to Golden State beating the Knicks last night at Madison Square Garden. LeBron James becomes the first player to have 50,000 points in the regular season / postseason.
Wow. I don't know if I said this to you on the show before, but I'm like #1 LeBron fan for sure.
I don't think you've ever mentioned that.
I'm a huge LeBron fan. Like, I'd be a casual for him wherever he goes. I'm following him because I just love witnessing greatness. He's a once-in-a-generational player. And I think a lot of Celtics fans would always rip on him, but it was really out of like, you can't beat him. A little like envious of him. But to me, LeBron, the GOAT. So is Jordan, though, too. Comparison's the thief of joy, folks.
But no, I thought I would, mention that with LeBron 50,000. He obviously definitely a big accomplishment for sure.
No, that's crazy.
That's quite an accomplishment in career. 50,000 points, regular season / postseason. LeBron's been best player in my generation, and just top freaking 2-3 player. To do a top 3, I have Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe.
I like that.
I mean, at 1, 2, and 3, quite a trio.
One thing. Let me say one thing about LeBron too. How about LeBron off the court too? Always out there in the community, always giving back. Pretty sure he started his own school in Akron, and not like a crazy fake school like some celebrities do, but like a real legitimate school. So, you know what? Shout out Bron. I'll say it. My close personal friend, LeBron James. Thanks for being you.
I don't think you know him like
you'd be surprised.
I don't think you've met him like that, have you?
That you never know.
Well,
some things maybe we'll talk about it next week. You're listening to Midday with the Raj, folks, on 103.5 WCCH.
I know that has to be capped. There's no way you've actually been before.
You never know. I'm a man of mystery. I'm an enigma of sorts.
Breaking news. Las Vegas Raiders let me see that. More breaking news. Las Vegas Raiders are signing Pro Bowler defensive end Max Crosby to a 3-year, $106.5 million extension that includes 91.5. Wait, I'm getting to this right now. 91.5 guaranteed.
Wow.
Making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, that is some
Well, you
serious...
got to break that news.
That's some serious
come on
cash.
now. Like,
Jeez.
what's 90? Did I hear that correctly? 91.5.
Wow, that's rare on the defensive side of the ball, too.
It's quite a deal. Like, we're just getting broken with deals left and right, aren't we, Pat? I mean, looking at it from a standpoint, I think we've broken so much news in the last, 15, 20 minutes?
Now, don't let us get hot here.
No,
Let's go.
Get hot. Keep it going. I like it. Keep it rolling. I mean, because maybe later on in the day we look at it and we're just like, bang, bang, bang. Oh, here comes another deal. Maybe what we have the next 10 minutes. More deals come up.
Wait, Al. Speaking of deals, can you talk about a great deal here at HCC? That first PSA there.
Yeah, I got you.
Listen up, folks. Big deals. Deals on 103.5 WCCH.
Yeah, we got to get this one, right?
Listen up. This one's important.
HCC scholarships. The 2025-26 HCC scholarship season is open. Each year, the HCC Foundation offers more than $300,000 in scholarships to new, current, and transfer students. The application for this scholarship can be found on hcc.edu/scholarships. And students are welcome to go to the Scholarship Resource Center in Don 158 for help as well. They can also be reached via phone at 413-552-2182. That's 413-552-2182. Or via email at scholarships@hcc.edu from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Don't miss out on a great chance to finance your education and apply today. The deadline is March 14th, so that would be next week, folks. So if you want to get on this scholarship funding, I would go and sign up before it's too late.
Yeah, good people down there, helpful people. Go get that money.
Yeah, it sounds pretty helpful.
Money, 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 money.
Money. You're making me sing Shane McMahon now, his theme song. You know who Shane McMahon is, right? Here comes the money.
I've heard him through the grapevine.
WWE? Used to be a yeah, you don't know.
No, over my head.
Got a little,
We'll get Damon T on here soon enough. Damon, if you're listening.
Damon,
love you, brother.
Damon Eric on the show. But no, I mean, I had to break that news. But back to that whole conversation we were talking with LeBron and stuff like that too. Like I said, like 50,000 points is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But no, I'm good for him. 50,000 points, insane. So we're gonna get to Golden State now. They're coming off a W against the Knicks at the Garden last night. Steph had 28 in the win versus the Knicks, and Jimmy Butler had 19. So I thought I would mention that. Brunson 28. Jalen Brunson had 28, and yeah. But good win for Golden State last night. Back-to-back wins, beating the Hornets and then beating the Knicks. They're red hot right now. They're playing well. So I'm liking the way it's going. Got the Knicks, not the Knicks. I said the Knicks. The Nets tomorrow night in Brooklyn. So, but
New York.
Yeah, going from to New York to next up to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Actually, is it in Brooklyn or is it in Golden State? I don't know. But so. What else do we got? The Celtics will get the W tonight. We think against the Trailblazers. I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, you can pencil that in.
I think that'll be a win, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't know if you're agreeing on that.
Nah, yeah, I'm a total fair weather fan with the Celtics. I hop in for the postseason.
I think Tatum's gonna drop like a 40 bomb tonight, probably.
Yeah, well, it's been a joy to watch him develop the last few years for sure.
Yeah, I think he's turned into the face of the league.
He's right up there, definitely.
He's quite a ball player. He is. But
he does copy Kobe a little bit, I gotta say. I think some of the fans are right on that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just feel like he kind of copies his flow a little bit. Be your own man, Jason. I'm just causing trouble.
I was about to say, I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about right now. But
Yep. Anyways.
So what else do we got? What do we got? 153. Let me think. Should I do a little bit of local sports before we go to the last two songs?
Yeah, you can try. I know sometimes it's kind of hard to pull them up on the spot. But yeah, we'll do a little check, see if there's anything there. I like the little local update at the end. Also, if you're just tuning in, we got to remind you, you're listening to Midday with the Raj here on 103.5 WCCH.
Today was
Holyoke, Mass.
Yeah, today was a more intense show because the amount of deals we've broken on the show too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get like a buzzer or something. Although I do kind of like hearing the ESPN go off in the background. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's that and Twitter for me. It's
Yeah.
going crazy. I mean, the last few minutes, especially when it comes to notifications. My friends are probably going crazy. We're not going crazy. We're all talking about the whole when it comes to, of course, when it comes to these deals and these contracts. Obviously you want to talk about it and, with your friends and stuff like that too. My friends are talking about that right now. So we're gonna get to a little. Yeah, that deal that Max Crosby just got. Wow. That's insane. All right, so our sports, what do we got? Let's see if Westwood State got any of his stuff up. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got over here? You got anything cooking up? Any scores? Oh, nothing. What about HCC? We'll see, Pat. We'll see if HCC's got something. I feel like they gotta have to give us our stuff in general because none of the stuff's getting put up.
I feel like they're mid seasons though. I don't think the spring season started.
Spring season doesn't start yet, so that's why we don't have any we We don't have anything like that yet.
This is a little lull in the sports world. But I will say, if I'm going to give a personal update, I've seen them down there practicing, working hard. So shout out to the Cougars, especially the baseball team. I see you guys in there doing your thing.
Well, yeah.
I know they're watching me drain threes. Don't mind me. Just doing my part.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's, and in other words, Pat, that's all we can do.
Yep, and shoot or shoot. Don't ever forget it.
Meaning...
Take it for what it is.
Take it, so in other words...
Take it easy, baby. Take it as it comes. Learn to forget.
Learn to forget. I like that. Well, also move on, too. Like, realize the situation and, just keep going. Keep rolling.
Keep rocking, keep rolling, and give the haters a wave. Give them a wave.
Do you think that, just to add on to something, do you think that the Celtics get to the finals this year?
I'm going to make the listeners have to wait for next week. This is what we call a tease in the biz. Will the Celtics make the finals?
So we're going to go with like a little bit of a, what's the word for it? I can't think of it. I'm thinking. It's like what they do at the end of the cliffhanger.
Yes, cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger.
Tune in next week on Midday with the Raj from 1 to 2 p.m. on Wednesdays to find out, will the Celtics make the finals?
You'll still be with us though, because I know Amanda's coming on, but you'll still be there, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be in the wings.
You'll be in the wings. You'll be here. You'll be on commentary too. So
yeah, looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll be. And then in a few weeks after that, when we're on break, I'll be coming in that week to do a show with Ian. He works in the cafeteria. To do a little sports with him during the break, and that'll be nice because I'm looking forward to that show too. But yeah, lots to expect. This week was more of an intense show because the amount of deals we had too. So
I liked it.
No, I did too. Because I wasn't expecting all this to happen all in one day.
Yeah, I know.
Too. I mean, there's so much sports going on. Well, at least with the NFL, with people getting released, getting extensions, especially what we just mentioned with Max Crosby, too. I mean, a second ago. I mean, come on. But, it's cool, And I'm glad this week we had more of an intense show. I know that the last few weeks have been more laid back because we...
Yeah, it's good to ramp it up a little bit.
Because there's also, let's be real, there's not really that much stuff going on.
Yeah.
But like I said, when the MLB starts March 27th, we're going to have a lot more to cover when that stuff rolls on, dude.
Yeah.
From going from there, too. And, you look at it now, but when you get there in a few weeks, you're going to be like, what just happened?
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Any final words, Al, before the final songs?
No, not much. Thank you for listening, and to Midday with the Raj, episode 5. We're going to put, Pat's going to check his calendar, but we are going to put the last 2 episodes on. And if we can't do it this week, actually we might do next week if it doesn't work for Pat. We're going to put all 3 episodes on there so all of you guys can be caught up and check out. There's been a few subscribers with, or not subscribers, a few people watched.
Yeah, thank you.
Viewers too. Thank you for watching and, checking out Midday with the Raj with Al and Pat. I know that those videos were cut out a little bit, but we're not going to do that anymore. We'll have everything going from the minute we get started to the minute we clock out. So
right up on top of things.
But yeah, exactly. So we're gonna get that going. If it's not this week, then it will be next week. We will add those 3 videos. We'll be caught up, and then we'll have all of them just mixed together all at once. So, but we're taking it one step at a time. But thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week, same time, same channel, from 1 to 2, right back here. Have a good week, everybody.
Peace.